DC 52, week 17 and 18. All right. Enter Lobo. Enter Dr. Fate. And we find out what happened to Firestar and Anima. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Longbox Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. And we are still reviewing DC's 52 event. We are in week 17 and 18 out of 52. So we've got quite a bit to go. But it's been very interesting, and I'm glad you joined us for this. Now, in week 17, the art is done by Chris Batista with breakdowns done by Keith Giffen. Again, Johns, Morrison, Rucka, and Waid are the writers. And over on week 18, we have Eddie Burrows doing the pencils. Art's been pretty good throughout this whole thing. Not top tier, but been pretty good. And we start out week 17 with Lex Luthor's superhero team. He made his own superhero team with the whole meta gene, and he's changed their genetics, and he's given them meta powers. And he has now formed his own superhero team. Of course, they all wear the purple and green, which honestly the team doesn't like because it's kind of stupid looking, stupid colors. So we have that going on. Now, in the team, we have from Gary, Indiana, Eric Storn, who is able to, with claws, he's able to slash through anything. We have a girl named Eliza Harmon, which is a speedster. We have from Gotham, we have Hannibal Bates, who can morph into any form. We have Geronimo McKenna, who is super strong. We have Jacob Colby from Oklahoma, who can fly. And from Metropolis, Natasha Irons, which of course is Steele's niece, is the living beacon of light. Now, I don't know what that means in a sense of her superpowers. Now, the team comes back. They're having a little debrief with Lex Luthor. And basically, they're like, hey, we need to change the colors because this looks stupid. But then the speedster actually takes something and injects herself. Of course, Mercy grabs her, and she's like, what in the world? She is taking something called Sharp. Now, the speedster is like, the only way I can slow down is with this Sharp. Every minute is always fast, and she's not all that happy about it. She feels like Lex Luthor tricked her. And she is now this super speedster, but she can never slow down. She can never have a minute to let her brain relax. That's got to be miserable, man. I can't even imagine. Now, week 17, day 2, we have Adam Strange, the Animal Man, and Firestar are still in space. They're still flying using the Devil Lance, the Pursuer's Lance, as their engine. But they have gone into this field of rocks of some sort, and they can't actually navigate. Now, she's out there trying to clear all these boulder, whatever they are, meteors, boulders of some sort, and it's not working all that well. Of course, Adam Strange is trying to fly completely blind, and Animal Man is trying to tell him, turn left, turn right. That's not a good idea. So she gets back in there. She gets hit with a couple boulders and smashed, and it's not going well. So week 17, day 4, she's back in there like, we are never going to get through this in time. Basically, the launching off the planet was a lifeboat. They're just trying to get somewhere where somebody can help pick them up and bring them in. The problem is there is nobody out there picking up their signal. They are trapped in space without any help, and they can't get to anybody. Only one of them can survive in the vacuum of space, and so it's not the best idea. Nothing's going very well with them. And then, as they're having a conversation about life and all this kind of stuff, right? Devil Lance the Pursuer shows up. He grabs the ship and rips the lance off the ship. They are now stranded in space. And I'm pretty sure the Pursuer's not going to stop there. He snaps on the spear, he grabs his ship, and he's getting ready to and the next thing you know, they see giant bowels. Yes. Intestines. They see giant intestines, and it's like splashing all over their screens. And then they're like, who in the world is out there? Who? Devil Lance the Pursuer. He's a new god, right? He's from he's like Assad, and he's from Acropolis. who's out? Then she's like, oh, boogers. Lobo. Yep. We get this nice spread of Lobo standing there with his gun, his blade. He's looking a little bit Rambo-ish. Or Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator. And so he's standing there and she's like, let me go talk to him. I mean, she is their best shot at trying to defeat him. They can't defeat him. There's no animals for Animal to change into. Adam Strange can't see and can't call the Zeta Beam. She's literally the only one with powers that can actually do anything out here. And she can't beat him either. I mean, the man literally wiped out his whole planet. And can be regenerate himself from a single drop of blood. You ain't beating this dude. Alright, so she goes, well, I'm going to go ahead and head outside. And he's like, well, what is he doing? He goes, well, as far as I can tell, he's just staring at Corey's chest. Yeah, and then he actually sticks out his tongue, he reaches up and he actually grabs her chest plate off. And they don't show anything, but she's now standing there, naked, topless, in front of him. And then then it's all just empty word balloons. So we have no idea what they're saying because they are in the vacuum of space, and the people on the ship can't hear them. She comes in and says, well, she puts on Animal Man's coat. Basically, he has joined a church, and he needs help. He has joined a church and turned his back on violence, and he needs their help with something. So he actually hooks up a chain to their spaceship, and you get a nice another panel. He jumps on his bike and he's towing them. He's towing Animal Man, Adam Strange, and Firestar off this meteoroid with Devil Lance the Pursuer's head staked on Devil Lance's spike. All right, then we go back to week 17, day 7, and Red Tornado shows up. So Lobo shows up, Red Tornado shows up. Red Tornado is in the middle of the Australian outback in almost basically pieces. He has no bottom part of his body, just the top, and it's all torn up. And he's just saying 52. 52. And he's like in Australia watching the sun come up, which is a nice, beautiful panel. And then we flip over to week 18. Now, week 18, we start out in the House of Mystery. If any of you have read any of the old, horror novels from DC, House of Mystery is one of those things where, it's kind of like where Cain lives, Abel lives in another house, and they tell the story, these scary stories, right? And I like how they open this thing up, because inside the House of Mystery, you can see trophies and plaques and stuff on the wall, and it actually is, some of it is the panel for, the writers and the artists. It's really cool. It says the Croatoan Society decodes Stonehenge, Croatoan unlocks Casper Hanser. It says writers Johns, Morrison, Waid, Rucka, Waid. Then over here, Croatoans, Easter Island, Mystery Redefines, layouts, Keith Giffen, And then we see the Croatoan Society pictured is Elor Edgway, and then it basically lists all their names and stuff that did a bunch, And that was really pretty cool. So on the next page, again, we get colors, Alex, like in a mirror. And over in this frame, we see another set of names, the assistant editors and editors, etc. And you have this dude, she's calling him Trench. That means Trench isn't here yet. All right, what is his name? I forgot his name already. So they have the monkey dude, Bobo, the detective monkey. You have Terry and Tim. Tim is Drake, or not Drake. Tim Drake, Jeeves. Tim is Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate is sitting there with the helmet on. He's just sitting in his chair. So you got a guy with, looks like he's got tattoos all over his face, wearing a trench coat. You got this girl named Terry. I'm not sure who she is yet. And basically, you got Dr. Fate sitting in a chair at a desk. They go up to talk to him. They touch him, and he melts into the floor. And it's just the helmet. Boom, right on the floor. That's it. Dr. Fate, the guy who was taking the helmet, is now completely liquefied, and the helmet is just sitting there. Then we fly over to Conduct, week 18, day 2. Adam Strange and his wife Isis decide to reward the people that saved the wedding and all the people by killing the young girl who was a suicide bomber. And of course, only the Question shows up. Renee Matoy does not show up. Now, the reason is, Renee killed a girl. Renee already had some mental problems with the idea that she ended up getting her partner killed. Now she's killed this young girl to save everybody. Yes, she was a suicide bomber, but still, it plays havoc on your psyche. And now she's basically abusing herself in a sense, with drugs and alcohol, and now she's amusing herself in a way that Renee does. And Black Adam breaks in and finds them both there. And he goes, well, what do you think you're doing? You were supposed to come to the Pact. Now she's like, well, I don't answer to you. I said, Black Adam, you're Renee Montoya. You have no powers. He's Marvel. Okay, he's got the powers of Captain Marvel. And basically she's like just yelling at him, I don't have to obey you. I don't want to, this and that. And he goes, she's like, get that thing out of my face. I don't want an award for killing a little girl. Black Adam like grabs her by the neck, pushes her back, says, you have pushed me too far. And then she's like, basically says, do it. She's like suicide by cop type thing. She's literally trying to get Black Adam to kill her because of the guilt she feels. And then Isis like, this isn't helping. Her grief and her anger are both misplaced. She's upset at herself for the things she had to do to protect people. And Black Adam's like, standing there and the question starts her going into this conversation. It says, and you're going to be eating your liver and what's left of it over the for years to come. But none of us are talking about why that girl was there in the first place. And handing out medals that might be lovely, they're going on week-long benders with the prettiest girl in Shirata, doesn't solve the problem, and it doesn't address the problem. The problem is intergang. So yeah, you can pity yourself. You can sit in here and punish yourself with booze, alcohol, this kind of thing, going and trying to get somebody to kill you. That's not going to help anything. And you handing out medals and making you did a great job, that's not going to help anything. The real problem is intergang, and we need to focus on the real problem. And that's what Black Adam says. Then let's put a stop to it. Yeah. So now we get over to Bobo talking to Ralph Dibny. Now Ralph Dibny. Sorry, guys. For some reason, this cough just will not go away. All right, so Ralph Dibny has Dr. Fate's helmet. And he's like, I need to figure out, kind of went crazy a couple weeks ago with his wife dying and the whole resurrection thing. And I need some answers. I really do. And in this helmet, I believe he can give me the answers I need. But it's not going to be detectives. It's going to be the Mystics. I need to talk to the Shadow Pact. Now enter the Shadow Pact. So we have Doctor Strange. So Lobo, Red Tornado, Dr. Fate, and now Shadow Pact shows up. We flip over to Cincinnati, Ohio, and we have Booster Gold's funeral, which it took them weeks to find a city that would even let them have the funeral there, because nobody wants anything to do with Booster Gold because of the antics that he pulled. Of course, Clark Kent is the only one there to actually cover the funeral. And even the people that got to attend the funeral, they had to pay. And they're like third, fourth strings vigilantes. I mean, it's basically a joke. And so Skeet's there, and Skeet actually finds a dude that's walking along the street that has the same DNA of Booster Gold. So apparently he's an ancestor of some sort. And so he said, hey, you know what? Skeet's like, I'm going to be back to talk to you. We definitely need to have a conversation. So we're in Egypt now, and they've taken Dr. Fate's helmet where it was kind of created in Egypt in front of the pyramids of Giza. And the Shadow Pact is shown up. Now, the Shadow Pact consists of the Ragman, Nightmaster, Blue Devil, Nightshade, and the Enchantress. And they're going to create this spell around the thing to try to use as a focus to get him the answers that he needs. But the helmet starts talking to him. And it says, welcome to the 10th age, and it has all this magic stuff going around. And then it kind of flips into where Zatanna's there and the Spectre, and it says, nothing is as it was before. The forces of magic in this new era obey new laws, new axioms. Far too long, Far too long, those who have dabbled in the eternal struggle between order and chaos have trivialized the most fundamental rule of reality. Nothing comes without a price. Now we see Nightmaster there, we see Xanadu there, we see Etergen there, and we see all these people. And so basically there are rules to magic now, and there's new actions, but there is a fundamental rule of magic that it all comes with a price. And Timothy Trench, who was the last guy to put the helmet on, didn't understand that, didn't take the time to do the things that he needed to do to make sure that he could actually wear the helmet. And he put it on and he was not prepared. So this is your opportunity, Ralph. I can give you the answers you seek, but you have to go through the process. And I'm warning you, there are trials, and the trials are going to cost a lot. Are you willing to sacrifice whatever I ask you to do? Now, and you see in Ralph's eye, or in the eye of the helmet, I'm not sure because it narrows in, I think it's the eye of the helmet, you actually see Sue Dibney's face. And Ralph's like, yeah, I am. So he reaches down and grabs the helmet, and everybody's like, hey, Ralph, what are you doing? And he's like, and you can see the helmet say, and then our pilgrimage begins. He goes, pilgrimage, I like that. And he just kind of gets in the car and drives off, and they're like, is it just me, or did he think the helmet was talking to him? Nobody else in the Shadow Pact heard the helmet talk to him. Bobo, all these guys, Nightmaster, Blue Devil, Enchantress, the Ragman, they're all standing there going, So Ralph is now listening to Dr. Fate's helmet, and he is off on a pilgrimage to do whatever this thing needs him to do. Now, in his sacrifices, it's going to be scary. So we had a lot of new people enter into the story. Lobo, Red Tornado, Dr. Fate, and the Shadow Pact. A lot of stuff going on. You see Renee Montoya just kind of breaking down, but they still got to get to Intergang. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. Not all super action, but a lot of interesting stuff going on. So this was good, and we'll see you next time here for episode 10. So if you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here in the Long Box.